Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Word on these congressional streets are that Donald Trump, your president, has been doing a lot of talking, a lot of slick talking behind the back of JD Vance. You don't say. You don't believe. I don't believe that. I do not believe Donald Trump has been talking behind JD Vance's back. Now, I do believe that he has been talking in front of him because he's made a number of critiques where he put JD Vance on blast publicly. So that's nothing new. But talking behind his back, I don't think that's talking behind your back. When you say this, when you're saying stuff to a person's face and you say something when they're not around, I don't think that's talking behind your back. I think that's a person just being who they are. Because I think that if somebody was saying stuff behind your back, they would be saying something that they wouldn't say in your face. The things that Trump say about JD Vance, he says to his face. He said these things publicly. So I don't see why JD Vance is so hot. Reportedly, this dude is outraged about Donald Trump talking behind his back, allegedly, right? Allegedly talking behind his back. You can look at that expression on JD Vance's face, and there's a lot of expressions like that where they're in different moments where JD Vance is looking at Trump like that. He got that scowl on his face when Trump is talking. He really want to take a dough on Trump, but he probably like scared to, you know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to make sure, you know, he keep that career thing going, you know, where he keep his money and his power and his influence. But let's go over here to this article in MSN and see what it says. White House denies NYT claim amid mocking reports. So the White House is denying that Trump is saying these things behind JD Vance's back. And they're also denying that Chief of Staff Susie Wiles advised Vice President JD Vance to limit his social media battles. Communications Director Stephen Chung said the conversation never happened and accused the Times of ignoring their denial before publication. The report had described Vance as highly engaged online compared to Trump, who posts frequently but rarely replies to users directly. This isn't true. We denied it in the New York Times and they refused to run our quote. Complete fake news. This supposed conversation never happened. Okay, so let's go inside of Trump's critiques of Vance. Multiple accounts describe President Trump openly mocking Vance in both private and public settings. He has compared Vance unfavorably to subordinates of Chinese President Xi Jinping for not showing enough difference, ribbed him for interrupting conversations, and criticized his shoes. Trump has also highlighted Vance's dependence on his endorsement in past races and poked fun at moments when Vance might not look the part, such as nearly dropping a sports trophy. So, you know, the White House doing what it does, you know, damage control and flat out lying, because I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I think everything that they're saying happened. And I think that every day it is a PR nightmare Trump creates for his team. They got to go out there and try to, you know, play cleanup. Imagine like his press secretary, all of the line and stuff that she has to do and all the cleanup jobs that she has to do on a daily basis. I mean, it's a trip watching her navigate through all of this stuff, knowing she lied, but she do it with a straight face. If you didn't know the details, you wouldn't know that she was lying. You know what I'm saying, fam? She's really good at it. Now, here's the deal, fam. In regards to Trump is going to engineer the process so that JD Vance, Marco Rubio, and others are polling somewhere around 15 to 30%. Then he's going to, this is what I think is going to happen. Then he's going to announce that since nobody else has broken from the pack, Don Jr. is the only one who can do it. Let's put Don Jr. in that position. So the way that Trump family manages their grifts will continue. The way that they handle that and they use the presidential office to do it, Don Jr. will have plenty of experience when Trump dies. When Trump is out of here, he'll have plenty of experience. And he'll also have much support because when Trump dies, his supporters are going to want more of him. They're going to want to latch on to anything that's related to him. They're going to embrace his kids. And Donald Trump Jr. will be the second coming. And, you know, he already got the name. So you'll still be Trump. You'll still be Donald Trump. And they are going to run with that. They're going to run with that. I do not believe that JD Vance is electable. I don't think he'll be Trump's successor. I don't think Trump wants him to be the successor. I think Trump is grooming his son, Don Jr., to take the reins. He is being groomed to lead the MAGA, the MAGA movement. Now, here's the thing. Don Jr., I think, is even worse of a candidate than JD Vance. As bad as JD Vance is, Don Jr., he wants to be like his daddy so much, man, that he even mimics the way he types. He really wants to be like Trump. He has nothing going for himself but a bloodline. That's it. He got the bloodline and that's it. He got the name. That's it. He ain't got really nothing else going for himself. But he also has a blind legion of supporters who are going to do anything that he tells them to do. I'm telling you, fam, watch. They're going to try to move Don Jr. to be Trump's successor. JD Vance, not electable. JD Vance sold his soul for proximity to power a long time ago. And the likelihood of him being in line for the 2028 nomination, nah, fam. Nah. He finds himself, the center of a national joke. He's at the center of a national joke. And I don't see how he can get into that position. I don't see how he can gain favor. I don't even think the MAGA people even respect him. And even if he is the eventual nominee, he'll never gain enough votes, I don't think, to actually become president. Yeah, I don't think he'll ever gain enough support. I don't think he has it. So I wonder, does Trump realize that VP is the one who starts the 25th Amendment changes? Vance could make a move to do Trump real dirty if he wanted to. Like right now, Vance got some moves that he can make to do Trump really, really dirty. But Vance ain't got it in him. And plus, if he does that, I think that MAGA is going to turn on him completely, and he's not going to be able to get anything done anyway. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for him to turn on Trump. I think Vance needs to try to get as much as he can get out of what's going on right now. He just needs to get as much as he can get and then keep it moving, because I don't see him being electable. Trump could barely live with the idea of Vance succeeding him. I cannot see that happening. Now, the question still remains is, how did 77 million people fit in one clown car? That's the question. Can anybody answer that? Can anybody answer that? How did 77 million people fit in one clown car? I know y'all don't like that. Some of y'all don't like that. But I got to call strike, and ball. You cannot deny that Trump is ruining this country. You cannot deny that everything that Trump says is good about this country is actually bad about this country. I don't understand people who vote against their own interest. I don't understand people who can't admit when they're wrong. To me, I think that's a major flaw. When you can't admit when you're wrong, that means that you will continue to be wrong because you haven't recognized that you're doing wrong in the first place, right? So if you can't recognize that, that means that you're going to continue to make the same mistakes. On a personal note, if I made a mistake, if my character was flawed, I would want the people closest to me to speak on that. You know, other people outside could speak on that, and I might even take a look in the mirror if a stranger said something, especially if more than one stranger said the same thing, right? But family, the people that really love me, if they spoke on it, I'd have to take some inventory. I'd have to look at that and be like, you know what? Maybe I am out of pocket on that. Maybe. I would want somebody to tell me the truth. I need somebody to tell me if my breath was funky, which it ain't, I got some fresh breath. My breath smelled like 9 laters. That's for the old school. But anyway, yeah, now, but if it was, I would want somebody to say, hey man, that's a friend to me. That's cool. Like, don't have me out here like that, man. If I walked out the door, man, and I got some mismatched socks on, one black sock on and a dark brown sock on, man, I didn't see I got dressed in the dark, But if I'm out there, you see that, man, pull my coattail, because that ain't me. I wouldn't wear mixed match socks. I wouldn't do that. Pull my coattail. Let me know. But Trump don't have anybody in his corner like that. Even his own kids won't tell him the truth. So he just goes out there and continues to make mistakes and bump his head up against the wall. And the people who claim to love him or care about him or whatever, I think they're all just sitting back watching the train wreck, and they're all trying to get as much as they can get out of this before it all comes to a screeching halt. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.